Close your eyes. Imagine the floor beneath you dissolving into 4,000 meters of crushing, freezing black water. You are not alone down here. Something colossal is moving in the dark, and it hears your heartbeat. Welcome back to the abyss. We often look to the stars for aliens, ignoring the nightmares swimming right beneath our hull. We call it thalassophobia, the primal, bone-deep terror of deep bodies of water. But it isn't just a fear of the water itself. It's a fear of what the water hides. Today, we are descending past the sunlight into the bathypelagic zone and beyond. We are going to catalog the monsters that science says are real, creatures that defy logic, biology, and sanity. From sharks that launch their own jaws like biological missiles, to living ghosts that drift silently with arms 30 feet long. Turn off your lights, put on your headphones. Let's see what stares back from the void. Section 1. The Jaws of the Goblin. Our first encounter lurks between 2,000 and 4,000 feet deep. At first glance, it looks like a mistake of evolution. This is the Goblin Shark. It looks ancient because it is. A living fossil, unchanged for 125 million years. Its skin is a translucent, sickly pink, not because of pigment, but because its skin is so thin you are looking directly at its blood vessels. That long, flat snout isn't a nose. It's an electrical scanner. In the pitch black, eyes are useless. This snout detects the faint electrical impulses of a crab's heartbeat buried in the sand. But the true horror happens when it feeds. Watch the jaw. Most predators bite down. The Goblin Shark bites out. Its jaws are not fused to its skull. They are held in place by elastic ligaments under extreme tension. When it senses prey, it catapults its entire mouth forward at over 10 feet per second. Imagine a human standing in front of you, and suddenly their mouth shoots out a foot from their face to grab you. That is the last thing a deep-sea squid feels, the pressure wave of those needle teeth slamming shut before the shark's body even moves. It is a biological spring-loaded trap, drifting in the dark, waiting for a trigger. And down here, where food is scarce, it never misses. Section 2. The Transparent Observer. If the Goblin Shark is the brute force of the deep, our next creature is the silent observer. Meet the Macropina microstoma, the Barreleye fish. Look at its face. You see those two small holes above its mouth. You think those are its eyes. They aren't. Those are its nostrils. Now look up. Look inside the transparent, fluid-filled dome that makes up the top of its head. You see those glowing green orbs? Those are its eyes. The Barreleye has evolved a transparent skull. Its eyes are tubular, like gun barrels, rotating inside its own head. It spends its life looking literally through its own forehead. Why? Because in the twilight zone, death comes from above. It spots the faint silhouette of prey against the dim surface light. It steals the ghost of sunlight to hunt. Whatever you do, don't stare into the green orbs. There is something profoundly unsettling about a creature that has turned its own body into a cockpit, shielding its brain behind a windshield, watching the abyss with eyes that can rotate 360 degrees. It is the ultimate voyeur of the deep. Section 3. The Ghosts of the Abyss. We go deeper now, past the reach of any sunlight. Here, we find the ghosts. This is the Stagiomedusa gigantea, the giant phantom jelly. It is one of the largest invertebrate predators on the planet, yet it has been seen less than 100 times in over a century. It doesn't have stinging tentacles like the jellyfish you know. Instead, it drags 4 massive, ribbon-like oral arms behind it. These arms can grow over 30 feet long. Imagine a 3-story building made of velvet and slime, drifting silently over your house. But if the phantom is the ghost, the Deepsteria is the shapeshifter. This is the Deepsteria. It doesn't look like an animal. It looks like a living sheet. It has no tentacles. It has no visible face. It is simply a massive translucent bell that ripples and folds in the current. When it feeds, it doesn't strike. It envelops. It expands its body like a net, closing around its prey until the victim is sealed inside the jellyfish's stomach skin. There is a video, taken by a deep-sea rover, of a Deepsteria blocking the camera, For a moment, the entire screen is just the geometric wire mesh pattern of its skin. It looks digital, artificial, like a glitch in the simulation of the ocean. These creatures don't swim, they haunt. They are drifting minefields of digestion, waiting for something to bump into them in the dark. Section 4. The Gluttony of the Black Swallower. Hunger changes you. In the deep ocean, meals can be months apart. You cannot afford to be picky. You cannot afford to let anything go. Enter the Chiasmodon, the black swallower. It looks small, barely 25 centimeters long, but it is the embodiment of gluttony. The black swallower has a jaw that unhinges entirely from its skull. Its stomach is made of a material so elastic it can stretch to hold prey 10 times its own mass. It hunts fish twice its size. It grabs them by the tail and walks its jaws up their body, swallowing them whole, inch by terrifying inch, until the victim is curled up inside the swallower's translucent belly. Sometimes the horror backfires. Scientists have found black swallowers floating dead on the surface. Why? Because they swallowed something so big that the prey started to decompose before it could be digested. The gas from the rotting victim inflated the swallower like a balloon, dragging it up to the surface to die. Killed by its own greed, a distinctively human way to die, found in the deepest trench. Section 5. The Vampire from Hell. We end our descent with a creature whose Latin name literally translates to the vampire squid from hell, Vampirotus infernalis. Despite the name, it is not a predator in the traditional sense. It is a relic, a survivor. It lives in the oxygen minimum zone, a layer of the ocean so choked of air that almost nothing else can survive there. It drifts in the suffocating dark, covered in organs that produce light. But when threatened, it does something nightmares are made of. It turns itself inside out. It pulls its webbed arms over its head, wrapping itself in a cloak of black spikes. It becomes a spiny, unappetizing ball. And if that fails, it doesn't shoot ink. Ink is useless in the dark. Instead, it ejects a cloud of bioluminescent mucus, a glowing cloud of sticky light that dazzles and confuses predators, leaving them biting at glowing slime while the vampire fades into the black. It is a creature of blood-red skin and blue eyes, living where nothing should live, thriving on the waste that falls from the world above. We have only explored 5% of our oceans. We have mapped the surface of Mars more accurately than we have mapped the floor of the Pacific. Every time we send a rover down, we find something new. Something with too many teeth, or transparent skin, or eyes that glow in the dark. The monsters we discussed today, the goblin, the phantom, the swallower, they are not myths. They are down there right now, drifting, waiting. If you want to support our descent into the madness of the deep, leave a like on this video. It helps the algorithm find more souls to terrify. And tell me in the comments, which of these creatures would you least like to see outside your submarine window? Subscribe to Beast Lore. The surface is safe, but we aren't staying there.